Well, Connect for Climate is a global communications program with more than 200 partners now. It was started in 2011, and it's a collaboration between the World Bank and the Italian government, and since then the German government has also come on board, and the Global Environment Facility has also been a main sponsor. But the real factor about it is bringing together as many partners as possible in order to raise awareness on the climate change, to widen the debate, and to really interact between the partners so that we can get more debate going and encourage action. Connect for Climate has grown substantially over the last few years that we've been in existence, and we've been focusing strongly on youth, and so the social media side has been our main objective to get to youth all over the world through social media. And we now have a sort of combined total of over 1 million followers in the different social media, and so it's been going extremely well. What we now need to do is to maintain that interaction with the different partners, bring the partners together more. We want to be a convener of knowledge, and a convener that gives the ability for the partners to link up and exchange knowledge and work together or act together for climate solutions. What we've done within Connect for Climate in order to reach young people is many people are interested in film and music and so on. So it's a way in to get to communicate with young people. So we try and interest them through using film and music for climate change communications. And we've run a number of competitions for that for young people. We did firstly a short photo and video competition for Africa, just for Africans, and we had over 700 entries for that. We then went on to do a music video competition, and then a public service announcement competition for university students. And then we wanted to have something more substantial to allow young people to express themselves more substantially on climate change. So we decided to have a video documentary competition for documentaries up to 12 minutes for 14 to 17-year-olds and 18 to 35-year-olds, 2 categories there. We were interested to see how many entries we would get, because producing documentaries obviously takes more time than a music video or a public service announcement. And we had 270 entries to that from over 70 countries. So we are very pleased with the amount of entries and also the quality. Well, the World Bank is a big institution set up is part of the United Nations collective set up at the same time as the United Nations, and it is there to help countries to solve economic problems, and it was firstly set up as a reconstruction bank after the Second World War to help countries reconstruct. Now we've moved more to how do we reduce poverty, and climate change is an important factor there we have to tackle climate change in order to end or help end extreme poverty. So the bank is doing that with governments, but it is also a tremendous research institution. It exists. It has numerous economists of high quality economists who are working in every sector to produce reports which help governments to realign and reconstitute themselves in order to help reduce poverty. And within climate change, we've recently had a number of reports called Turn Down the Heat, which we have done with other institutions, brought other institutions in to help with the reports. And they have been very successful in, again, widening the debate. The bank is actually a cooperative of more than 180 countries, and as well as giving loans to the poorest countries, it's also very much a research institution, establishing new areas of knowledge across the board. And this knowledge is available to anyone, and so it's an excellent way. I mean, I think if we can expand that knowledge as much as possible, it can only be for progress's sake. I think it's good that the bank gets criticism from different quarters, because it keeps us on our toes and makes us expand out and to explore new quarters all the time, new areas of interest. And we also do respond. In 1970s, when the environment became important to many more people, there were only, I think, 2 people working on environment issues within the bank. Now there are thousands. So we do respond, and it's a large organization, so it does take some time, as with everything, to change. But we are constantly listening to people and aiming to work with them to respond to the needs of the day. Well, the major studios are now working on establishing green footprints, because they can see that it can in effect reduce costs. That's a major motive, but it's also extremely good for the industry. And we are working with them also to try and expand that to independent filmmakers as well, to establish a sort of a broad template across the industry, bringing together all the different groups that have been working on establishing a green footprint, and establishing a standard that can be used and introduced both in process, in the process of making the film, but also then in content, and how you inculcate concepts and ideas around climate solutions for the future. It's now established that there is good software available, so you can analyze your carbon footprint and establish what is happening within your production. So the more that is used by more filmmakers across the board, it's all for the better.